Hello my dear viewers and welcome to the channel. Today we are doing the second chapter of Shrimad Bhagvatgita. Atha Dwitiya Adhyay. Please subscribe the channel for more videos and the playlist of the complete Bhagavad Gita, all the Adhyayas, the link is given in the description box. Okay, you can follow that link named Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. There you will find all the Adhyayas and I'll be posting them. This is the second Adhyay. Okay, so let's get started. Atha Dwitiya Adhyay. Sanjaya revealed that compassion and grief had made Arjuna's eyes sad and tearful. Then Krishna, Bhagwan Madhusudan, spoke to Arjuna. O Arjuna, why such emotional weakness at this hour? The superior persons never behaved like that, and such attitude is neither a heaven-getter nor a glory earner. So, O Parth, don't act like an impotent. That is no good for you. O Parantapa Arjuna, banish the mean of weakness of your heart and stand up to battle. Upon it, Arjuna spoke, O Madhusudan, how shall I bring myself to shoot arrows on Pitamaha Bhishma and Guru Drona? Because, O Krishna, they are both my revered elders. Hence, instead of harming these great elder gurus, I would prefer to live on the food received in alms. Because by killing the elders, I would be only indulging in blood-soaked riches and carnal pleasures in this world. We don't even know whether making war is better or not making it. And we don't know if we shall win or they will win over us. Those after killing whom we don't wish to live, the very those sons of Dhritarashtra stand before us ready for war. So I, the one with confused mind due to the weakness of cowardice and having infatuated mind over the subject related to duty, that is dharma, want to ask you to tell me about the correct and righteous way, because I am your disciple, so in your refugee. Please advise me and guide me into the right path. Because even after getting the unchallenged crown of the world's most prosperous kingdom and the mastery over gods, I fail to see the way or means that can relieve me of the grief which is drying up the life of my sensory organs. Sanjaya said, O king, after saying that, Arjuna, the conqueror of the power of sleep, announced to the omniscient Lord Krishna that he would not fight in the battle and has fallen silent. After that, O Dhritarashtra of Bharata dynasty, Krishna speaks to Arjuna, who grieves in the center of army line, ups thus. O Arjuna, you are grieving for those who do not deserve any grieving over. Still you talk like a learned one, but the learned ones never grieve over such people irrespective of who are dead or not dead. In fact, the soul is immortal, immune to death. So meaningless is grieving. It is not that a creation point of time I was not there, you were not, or all these kings were not existent. All were there. And even in future, we shall exist. In other words, it is ongoing cycle of births and death. As in this body, the soul is carried through the stages of childhood, youth, and old age. Similarly, it is carried forward to another birth, another body, and another life. So the learned ones or patient ones don't worry on this subject. O Kaunteya, Arjuna, the sensory and material joys and sorrows blow hot and cold. They come and go and are ever-going phenomena. So, O Bharata, O Arjuna, bear with them. O man superior, Arjuna, those are blessed with the ultimate salvation, who take joy and sorrow equanimously. The patient ones, whom sensory organs and their combined effects don't excite or make anxiety-ridden. O Arjuna, what is untruth has no existence. It is destruction-bound. But what is true is abundant, because the truth is imperishable. The wise ones have seen the elemental facts about the truth and the untruth. In this way, know the everlasting fact. That fact pervades through this visible world because what is eternal element is beyond the power of destruction of anyone. All the living bodies are mortal, and these bodies belonging to immortal, imperishable, and ever present soul. The soul never perishes. So, O Arjuna, battle you must. All those who take the soul to be killer or those who take it to be mortal are ignorant and unwise. Because the soul neither kills anyone nor anyone can kill it. The soul neither gets born in any specific age nor it dies or is born to happen again. Because of the soul being non born, ever present, everlasting, and the most ancient, it does not die when the body perishes. O Parth, Arjuna, a man who recognizes the soul as immortal, ever present, non born, and unspendable, how shall he kill anyone, or how and whom shall we get killed? As a man discards old, worn out clothes and puts on the new ones, similarly the soul leaves old or aged body and gets into a new one. The weapons can't pierce or cut it. Fire cannot burn it. Water cannot wet it, and air cannot dry it. Because the soul is unpierceable or unbreakable, uninflammable, unwettable, and unevaporable. It is eternal, omnipresent, immortal, and stable. The soul is defined as unmanifest, beyond imagination, and faultless. So, O Arjuna, view the soul in this form which needs no grieving. O mighty one, if you think that the soul is always taking birth and dying, even in taking or thinking so, your grieving is not proper. Because in such case, one that is born surely dies at appointed time, and one who dies is bound to take birth again. So your grieving is not right. O Arjuna, all the living beings of this world before their births were unmanifest, that is, without the bodies. In death, they again become unmanifest or minus bodies. Thus, the physical body is merely an in between state. Then, what is the justification for grieving about it? O Arjuna, this element of self or soul is a very deep thing. Some view it as a great wonder, and some other great ones explain this soul knowledge as a wonder. Similarly, some great ones listen about it wonderstruck, and some do not understand the soul element even after being told. O Bharata, Arjuna, the soul in all the bodies is immortal. It cannot be killed, so it is beyond you to grieve for all the creatures. Even considering your own dharma or duty, O Arjun, you should not fear, because the basic duty of your martial race, Kshatriya, is battling for righteousness. Nothing more important than that. O Arjuna, such wars are like open doors to heaven and gifted opportunities that come to only fortunate warriors. Now, if you do not make this just war or refuse to take part in it, you will lose your dharma or commitment to your duty and glory, degrading yourself into a sinner. Not only that, the ones who would live a long life shall recount your inglorious act. It is also a fact that infamy is worse than death for a respectable person. In case of your shirking the battle, even those for whom you are revered figure today shall consider you a petty character. Such warriors will take you for the one who ran away frightened of battle. And listen, your enemies will speak of your capabilities in uncharitable words. What greater sorrow can there be than what you will get? So there is nothing more important than battle for you. If you die in the battle, you will go to heaven, or you will win and rule the kingdom of the earth in glory. Therefore, O Kaunteya, stand up in determination to battle. Prepare for the war, taking joy or sorrow, gain or loss, and victory or defeat with equanimity. The war fought in such spirit will not be sinful for you. O Parth, the intelligence given to you is for gathering knowledge. Now hear about the use of the same intelligence for doing deeds. With the intelligence of on matters of deeds, you will be able to fully cast off the bounds of deeds. In karma, the seed is not destroyed and the fruit in the form of consequence of the deed does not have any bearing on the doer. In fact, karma, as dharma done, is small measure or attempted to protect one from the terror of life and death cycle. In the sacred path of karma, the mind is focused on one result. But those who are fickle-minded, ignorant and lustful, their minds are shifty and countless. O Partha, those who remain immersed in carnal pleasures and express their faith in words of Vedas, preaching rituals and customary rites, and consider them to be all that matters. Those who take heaven to be the only worthwhile thing to strive for whom there is no greater thing than heaven, the speakers of such thoughts are ignorant, and due to ignorance, they utter such views in flowery language to disguise their shallowness. Those who have lost their hearts to such flowery words, such people, and those who believe in carnal pleasures and luxuries, their conscience suffers from the lack of resolved mind. O Arjun, Vedas are propounders of carnal pleasures and their means based on the practical forms of three basic categories of characteristics to human nature: propensities to nobility, carnal pleasures, that is karma, and beastliness. So you must be free of confusions, of joys and sorrows. Plant yourself in the power supreme. Be soulful, devoid of the desires, forgetting the ungettable, and of impulses to protect the possessions. Because one who gets a brimming water body, why should he want half-filled small pond? Similarly, one who gets the ultimate joy of unity with God, why should he bother about what Vedas say about the games of basic instincts and tendencies? So Arjuna, your duty is in doing your deed and not in its consequences. Hence, do not get keyed up to the fruits of your labor. But don't think of derelicting your duty also. It does not mean that if the fruits of a labor are inconsequential, then why do you do the labor at all? O Dhananjay, do your duty, forgetting about your desires and the difference between the success and the failure. It is what we call total equanimity. But the law of equanimity makes the deed a purposeless exercise. So, O Arjuna, you should take cover under intelligence factor, because those who wish for rewards for a deed are considered beggarly. He who is equanimous and not concerned in sin or charity leaves them back in this very world. So one must adopt equanimity of mind. It is the only way to get away from the tangle of deeds. Those wise ones who are equanimous, they forego the fruits of deeds and liberate themselves from the bonds of life and unite with the Creator to attain nirvana or final salvation. O Kaunteya, the time when your mind will cross the mile of desires, then you will attain the state of worth hearing and the heard detachment, which means you will be free of carnal desires. You will attain the stage of yoga when your mind, confused by varied talks and advices, will opt to stabilize in Supreme Self. Upon hearing the deeply meaningful words from Lord Krishna, Arjuna asks, O Keshava, what are the signs of a person who is in meditative state with stabilized mind? How does such person talk, sit and walk? Calming down the curiosity of Arjuna, Lord Krishna revealed, O Arjuna, When a man gives up all his worldly desires and becomes content in staying within his own self, then he is called stabilized mind. One whose mind does not become anxious when faced with sorrow, and whose mind does not get swayed when happy tidings come, and whose illnesses, fear, and anger have got destroyed, such sage is a stabilized mind. One who has no attachments, one who does not get swayed by happiness or sorrow upon getting a good thing or bad, he is called a stabilized mind. Also, hear this: just as the turtle withdraws the exposed parts of its body in its shell, similarly, when a man is able to withdraw his sensory organs within himself from the lure of carnal pleasures, then his mind is in stabilized state. The withdrawal of sensory organ helps one stay away from the carnal pleasures, but the desires remain. Still, the lingering desires in the stabilized mind gets cleansed off when it meets power supreme. O Arjuna, infatuation, attachment or love, if not destroyed, then the sensory organs, which by very nature go on titillating, they can abduct the mind of a man who is trying to stabilize it devotedly. So the one devoted to attainment of stabilized mind must first gain full control over his sensory organs and sit with equanimous attitude, investing his thoughts into me, because only the devotee whose organs are in his control can achieve the stability of mind. One who thinks of pleasures, he gets attached to those pleasures. The attachment arouses the desire to get those pleasures. When the pleasures elude him, then anger is born in him. The anger leads to stupidity, and stupidity causes confused memory. A confused memory destroys the wisdom. When the wisdom is destroyed, the man goes astray and he becomes a fallen one. One who has controlled his mind, he can walk through the pleasures with senses cleansed of sinful tendencies in happy frame of mind and conscience. Happy heart, mind and conscience destroys the woes. The mind of such person detaches from everything else and gets stabilized in supreme self. One whose mind and senses are not under control, his wisdom is unstable. In the heart of the man with such unstable wisdom, there are no positive sentiments, and without sentiments or feelings, there is no peace. How can such person of restless mind ever be happy? As the water boat is drawn by the wind towards it, similarly one's mind sailing amid the lures of senses, if gets drawn towards any sense, that single sense can take away the wisdom of that unstable man. So, O mighty one, the man whose senses are freed of the weakness of lures of pleasure, his mind is stable. What for other creatures is night, it is time to stay awake for the man of true spiritual wisdom. For him, it is the dawn of knowledge. On the contrary, what for the carnal world is daytime, it is time to go to sleep for that yogi man. Just as waters of numerous rivers slide into the ocean without creating ripples, similarly in the man with stabilized mind, all the pleasures of the world enter without creating ripples of sin. Only such man is blessed with supreme peace and not the pleasure seeker. The man who renounces worldly desires and wanders bereft of ego, attachment and selfishness, only he gets the supreme peace. O Parth, this state is of a person who has found power supreme within himself. A man in that state is beyond any allurement, and finally he stabilizes in that state and attains ultimate happiness. So friends, we have finished with the Dwitiya Adhyay, the second chapter. In the next video, we'll meet with the Tritiya Adhyay, that is the chapter 3. Till then, take care. Jai Shri Krishna.